I am planting equity and justice. I was standing in a field of 100,000 tulips, and one radical yellow one. And I wasn't in Holland, Michigan, and I wasn't in the Netherlands. It was right here on the south side. Did you guys see those tulips? Yeah. This is a great audience, by the way. So, as you know, I'll just say for those of y'all that missed the tulips, Amanda Williams, our local MacArthur genius, planted 100,000 tulips. And the purpose of it was to make a statement on redlining on the south side. And I think we all probably know what redlining is, but let me just read to you the sign that she had amongst the tulips. Redlining is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as to refuse a loan or insurance to someone because they live in an area deemed to be a poor financial risk. Deemed to be a poor financial risk. I wanted to see the tulips because I knew they'd be extraordinary, but I also wanted to stand in the tulips because I only lived 5 minutes away and had my own redlining story. See, about, let's say, 7, 10 years ago, we wanted to do some work on our house. Now, we have an 1889 brownstone in Bronzeville, which, always needs work. And we did as much as we could. We bought a new fridge, we bought a new stove, we did a little bit of painting, and then we're like, okay, we want to do more. So we went to the bank, and we met this really nice black man, friendly banker. He sat us down, he looked at our credit history and said, oh, there's so many products you could choose from. You could do this, you could do that, you could do the other. Interest rates are low. All you have to do is go through the appraisal process. So we're like, okay, sure, no problem. So we set the appraisal date on a date that was convenient for us, which meant that we were both home, my husband and I, and both our kids were home. And we waited, and the appraiser rang the bell, and we opened the door, and he barely said hello. Middle-aged, white man with a clipboard and a pen. And we walked him through our entire house, top to bottom. So started on the 3rd floor, home office and family room, walked through all 4 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, half bath, full bathroom, 1st floor, traditional double parlors, original woodwork intact, a 3/4 bath shower, eat-in kitchen, all the things. Now granted, we also had to take him to the basement. It's not pretty down there. But still, I think we did well. A couple of days later, he saw our children finishing their breakfast, looked at them, and he left as quickly as he came, silently, without a word. A couple of days later, we got a call from the banker, who was still very friendly, but not as cheerful. So before we had 5 products to choose from, low interest rates, lots of money, now we had 1 product to choose from. Less money, higher interest rate. You guys heard this story before? Yeah. So of course, he said, never mind. No, thank you. And soon after that, there were more and more studies that came out about redlining still occurring, even though technically it's illegal, right? There was a really popular Trevor Noah monologue that talked about literally just swapping out the family photos, the art, the book, and who opens the door can make a $100,000 difference. And by the way, our difference was $120,000. I looked that up today and I got mad all over again. So, you always think that things are going to get better with justice and equity, but things still remain the same. So I teach down the street at the Harris School of Public Policy, and my students did a study this quarter on racial bias in home appraisals. And they mapped out the whole process, all 8 steps. And each step, there is a point of subjectivity and bias to come in without checks and balances. I also learned that the majority of home appraisers 97% are white men, just like the profile of the dude that devalued us. So I already have my revenge planned, right? Whenever we move, I have my white allies lined up. We'll remove all the ethnic art, all of the Black liberation books off the shelves. And I'm going to buy the frames and leave the white models. And then we'll leave, and we'll have our white allies get the value that we deserve. But until then, I will enjoy Amanda's tulips every spring and continue pushing for equity and justice. Thank you.